Hey, what's up, you guys? It's IAmTheLionRider, and today, by popular request, we are looking at the supposed leak from a Frontier insider that goes over the Planet Zoo DLC roadmap for the 2021-2022 time period. So, if you guys didn't catch yesterday's stream, I briefly went over this, but a lot of people wanted me to cover it, find out whether or not it's real or not. So I thought we would take a look at it and kind of judge whether or not this is a legitimate leak or not. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that this anonymous person posted on the video game 4chan board was that on July 8th, which if we check our calendar, because that's always important, is it a Tuesday? It's a Thursday. Questionable. Usually all DLCs drop on Tuesdays, so that's already a red flag, not gonna lie. So they say on July 8th, which is a Thursday, we are getting a South African animal pack, and that will include 8 animals. So I should mention that this post immediately is coming out after the Southeast Asia pack. So if you're one of the people that are like, look, they even listed there's going to be 8 animals in an animal pack, Southeast Asia is already out, so that kind of is a mark against it. You can't really tell it's credible because anyone after a weird DLC like the Southeast Asia Animal Pack came out can kind of copy it and, you know, copy the format to make it seem more legitimate. So it does have 8 animals, 7 habitat animals, 1 exhibit animal. And I will actually say the animals themselves aren't super crazy. So starting out, we have a fan favorite, the meerkat. I think a lot of people have been wanting meerkats. It's always been the, oh, I don't know if they can do them. If we've done koalas at this point, I don't think meerkats are that difficult. I think even we've been able to mod them rather well. So meerkats, in my opinion, aren't crazy. Now, the next one up is the one that you would think would give a lot of credibility to this leak, is the black rhinoceros. Oh my god, we're finally getting it, everyone. But this is sort of where, in my opinion, it's kind of like, this leak is just too obvious of what we are already expecting. A lot of us are already expecting an Africa pack of some kind with black rhinos. A lot of us are already expecting a North America pack, which it mentions later on. We're all expecting aviaries, which it mentions over here. A lot of this is stuff that we all kind of expect already. And so it's not really like this revolutionary theory if it's a fake leak, or even if it was legitimate. So what we have to really look at are the specific animals. So like I said, meerkat and black rhino, actually pretty likely candidates in an Africa animal pack. I wouldn't actually put that past anything. African leopard, same thing. Very likely, very popular, big cat. It's one of the only big cats that were left missing, so it would probably make sense. I think they may or may not do it just because it'd be so similar to the jaguar, but I know it would be a popular animal. Secretary bird, this would be a presumably new rig, but it would probably use some of the animations like the cassowary and some of the, like the peacock or something. But it would be a new type of bird, so that's kind of an interesting one. The African penguin, which is a pretty popular animal, and I think it actually fits really well in a South African animal pack, because a lot of people were talking for a while that it was going to be a general Africa pack, and people wanted African penguins, but a lot of people were saying that it would kind of be weird if it was in a pack that was just Africa and we had a penguin. But if it's specifically South Africa where African penguins live, it actually probably would make more sense. The vervet monkey, or green monkey, is basically just a generic type of monkey that lives in South Africa. It's kind of your standard old world monkey. There's nothing crazy about it. So I thought a baboon of some kind would maybe be more likely. If it was general Africa, I would have said Hamadryas. If it's even South Africa, I still think olive baboon would probably have a better shot. But vervet monkey, okay. But I'm a little skeptical on this one for a few reasons, and that's mostly the next thing. The greater kudu, new ungulate. This would be a very popular, ungulate. It's probably the most, requested one if we were to get another African ungulate. So I actually have no issue with pretty much any of these animals, to be honest. And finally, the black mamba. Very popular new snake species. lives in Africa. I actually have no issue. So if this was a legitimate leak, I'd have no issue with this as a African animal pack. It's actually probably ideal. You get a little bit of everything. You get the rhinos that you want. You get the meerkats you wanted. The people who wanted a leopard get it. The people who want a new rig gets the secretary bird. The people who wanted a second penguin get the African penguin. The ungulate people get a kudu. Overall, this is a really good pack. And the people who wanted stuff like red river hog or fusa or something from general other areas of Africa can't really be upset because it's specifically South Africa. So I actually will say this is probably the ideal pack if we were to get it. Other than, like I said, I would probably swap burbot monkey for a different type of ape or primate. But speaking of primates, we can get to the next thing, which is the primate pack. So it's going to be a bit far away. We're going from July now to November. So this would be July, August, September, October, November. 5-month difference between the updates, almost 6 months actually. And the reason they say this is for 2 reasons. The first is that the animals in game don't have realistic climbing movement. Orangutans don't move like gorillas, and they don't brachiate and stuff. And the second is that the avian pack development needs more time. This is a key reason I believe this leak is fake. So I will go into that a little bit. But I actually really like the idea of the explanation behind this. Because it does mention that in-game right now, the primates have really buggy climbing mechanics. They were so proud of the climbing when the game first was announced, like, oh, you can make modular sets for climbing and stuff. But I think everyone who's played the game kind of realizes that the monkeys glitch into trees, they'll spin around and flip upside down, and the orangutans don't really move how orangutans should, etc. So it's actually not a bad idea for a kind of quality of life pack. And so it says that it would come with an update 1.7 that would bring new animations for animals like orangutans, chimps, and lemurs that would be similar to diving, and it would have 8 new animals. And this is another big reason I think it's fake. So, but we'll go over the animals. So we're going to get 8 primates. So starting off, we have the northern white-cheeked gibbon. Very, very popular animal from Southeast Asia that a lot of people wanted in the Southeast Asia animal pack. And so I'm glad to see it here. If this is a legitimate leak, this would be awesome. I think it would work really well that it would have its own update to add brachiating animals like gibbons and orangutans in one update. That actually does line up and make sense as its own standalone update. And then similarly, we have the golden stub-nosed monkey. Kind of a cool monkey species, nothing crazy about it. The black and white ruffed lemur, that's a clone. It's a clone of the red ruffed, nothing crazy. And then unknown common marmoset as the first exhibit mammal. Again, another red flag why I think this is fake. Finally, the post ends by saying the next DLCs are still dubious because they're in a real conceptual stage that will begin after South Africa DLC is out, but the first 2022 DLC will likely be North America Animal Pack. This is where the leak falls apart for me. So let's kind of go over all of the red flags here. So let's look at the facts. Before Shantae left, she explicitly mentioned that scenery packs would not go away, right? I think we all saw that post. She was like, they will be coming back at some point. According to this leak, we just got the Southeast Asia pack. Our next pack would be an animal pack. The following pack would be a animal pack. And then even after this pack, we'd get a third animal pack. That would be 4 animal packs in a row with no scenery at all. That is I really doubt they would do that. That would make no sense, especially after explicitly mentioning, yeah, okay, we understand you wanted more animals, but we're gonna reel it back. We're gonna bring back scenery. It makes no sense that they would explicitly mention we're getting 4 animal packs in a row. The other thing that is kind of a red flag to me is, like I said, this little mention of, they just kind of hit it. The avian pack development needs more time. So that is stating that the avian pack is either in development currently or will start development likely around the South African animal pack is released. What that means, if this is released in Q2 2021, the avian pack starts development in Q2 of 2021, right? And then Q3 we get the primate pack. We don't get any. Well, actually, Q4. It's already in November, so we don't get anything in Q3. Q4 we get the primate pack. Then Q1 of 2022 we get North America. So that would mean that at our earliest estimate, the avian pack that apparently starts development this summer isn't going to be released until next summer. That makes no sense. You don't start a pack a year before and then release it a year later. Like, if it needs more time, that's fine, but that would only mean about a single pack delay. The aquatic pack, as an instance, did need more time. That is actually true. It did need more time than Australia or South America, etc. And because of that, we had the padding of Australia and South America to deliver that on time. I don't know if the South Africa primate and the North America pack is going to need to be there just to pad birds. Birds are a big deal. I could believe a 1-pack delay like they mentioned with the primate pack, but I'd be expecting avians then in the immediate first DLC of 2022, which they claim to be the North America animal pack. So, again, just going over what we know, right? We'd be getting 4 animal packs in a row, and then an avian pack, and then it's still dubious on what we would see after that. The packs we would be getting are Africa, which I think we all agree about, North America, which we all agree about, avian, which we all agree about, but the primate pack is just really weird. Now, like I said, I actually think it wouldn't be a bad pack. The other thing that I want to mention about the primate pack is these unknown animals. If you're so confident in the detailing of why the primate pack was chosen, isn't it a little weird that you have half the monkeys not even listed? That's kind of weird, don't you think? Like, you couldn't even come up with 4 more monkeys to fill out the pack, just in temporary, like, even if it was something vague, like, oh yeah, it should be some type of baboon, some type of, New World monkey, Old World monkey, whatever. They don't even have that. They just went unknown, like, but why do you know the other 3? And another thing that, once again, is another negative for this pack is it mentions the common marmoset is the first exhibit mammal. They've explicitly come out and said that we will never get a mammal exhibit animal in the past. They've mentioned that before. So it'd be really weird that suddenly now you're trying to shove a monkey species that, frankly, I think even we'd all agree that a marmoset or a tamarin would make a really good habitat animal regardless of the size of it. It still makes no sense to shove it in a little glass box. I don't really understand why they would do that. So let's kind of go into why people say this should be taken seriously. The main argument is that every 4chan post up until this point has been real. That is 100% incorrect. There have been legitimate Frontier 4chan leaks, the most notable being the 5-year roadmap leak that was 100% correct. It labeled every JWE expansion. It gave all the Planet Zoo DLCs. It gave all the layout of every pack and stuff. It announced Elite Dangerous and that expansion and stuff. It announced literally everything up until this point. All the Planet Coaster DLCs, including ending on Ghostbusters. Everything in that actual 5-year leak was 100% correct. Which is why it's also still taking... people still take a lot of notes from it saying that JWE 2, Planet Coaster 2, etc. are still coming. So people still take that leak very seriously because of how much it had correct. Similarly, JWE has had other similar 4chan posts that were correct. Now, Planet Zoo, however, has not had that same treatment. There have been a lot of 4chan leaks for Planet Zoo that have all been deemed fake. The most notable I remember was from last summer, and it was stating that we were supposed to be getting a 7-animal Oceania pack in the middle of July, which never happened. Then we were supposed to get a Oceans pack shortly after. That didn't happen, but people want to say like, oh, but we did get aquatics. No, that specifically said we were supposed to get an Ocean pack shortly after Australia with fish specifically, which we didn't get. It also mentioned we were supposed to get a bunch of other crap, like we were supposed to get like a desert animal pack that was like 3 animals and new terraforming tools, and it was supposed to have another DLC in November. None of that came true. So that was a 100% fake leak. And so, like I said, while this leak could potentially be real, I'm really doubting it for the reasons that I listed. There's a lot of weird stuff. Again, South Africa releasing on a Thursday, that's really weird. We actually have the date for November as well, so let's just check that out. So it claims that that would be released on a Saturday. That makes absolutely no sense, so that's definitely not real. And then, yeah, like I said, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It mentions they're working on the avian pack, but it's not going to be released anytime when they're working on it. This just doesn't line up. This just doesn't make any sense. And this is why I didn't originally want to cover this topic, because if you had to ask me, this is just a fake leak. This is just, I've played, you know, Smash Brothers. I've been in that community for a bit. I'm used to fake leaks. This is almost entirely fake. It's anonymous, so you can't be like, oh, well, let's ask the person, etc. This is likely just a fake leak. Now, if it is true, for whatever reason, I will definitely cover it. If the Africa pack has all 8 animals correct on this date that they specifically list, and it's specifically called the South African Animal Pack, I will take a look at this and then actually say this is maybe something to look at. But as of right now, just speculative, it doesn't seem to line up. So with that being said, I believe it's fake. But use your best judgment if you would like to believe this is real. You know, I would always, you know, stress, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But if you would like, keep your eyes out. And I would like everything in this. I think this is awesome if this is a legit leak. I just really doubt it personally. So that kind of covers everything for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.